Today, we're talking about the backlash the Biden administration is getting in their attempt to expand on Title IX. Boeing is set to launch their rocket, although I'm not sure why we're letting them do that right now. And is TikTok responsible for the doomer vibes in the room? Spoilers? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. All in this Monday episode of... But before we start, make damn sure you're subscribed so you never miss a news update. Should I bring back the monologue? I'll consider it. Anyways, Alice, let's go over the Title IX expansion first.
In a move countering the Biden administration's expansion of Title IX to include gender identity, Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders has issued an executive order for state schools to disregard the federal guidance.
Okay, so the Biden administration recently decided to include gender identity into Title IX, a move that sparked backlash from several conservative-led states, obviously. Leading the charge is Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who signed an executive order instructing schools in her state to ignore federal guidance. The order states students must not be forced to shower or undress with members of the opposite sex, citing concerns over privacy. And remember, Sanders isn't alone in her opposition. There are several conservative groups who have filed lawsuits against the Biden administration, accusing it of overreach and altering the original intent of said law. According to reports, at least 15 states have filed lawsuits against the federal government, with governors and education chiefs in states like Texas, Oklahoma, Florida, Louisiana, Montana, and South Carolina instructing their school districts to disregard the new definition. Texas Governor Greg Abbott wrote in a memo to President Biden that the rewrite exceeds constitutional authority and tramples laws protecting the integrity of women's sports by prohibiting men from competing against female athletes. A lawsuit filed by groups like Independent Women's Forum and Parents Defending Education argue that the rewrite is illegal and upends all protections for women and education, including preserving women's only sports and spaces. On the other hand, the Biden administration maintains the rewrite does not make a final determination on transgender athletes, although the rule does mention athletic sports and teams like a few times. So, as the debate rages on, both sides remain firm in their convictions, setting the stage for a potentially lengthy legal battle over the interpretation and implementation of the new Title IX. What do you think? Should this be a federal thing? Should this be a state thing? Let me know in the comments.
This week marks a pivotal moment for Boeing as its Starliner spacecraft is set to carry astronauts for the first time, testing its readiness for NASA missions. The launch is scheduled for Monday at 10:34 p.m. ET, with astronauts Sunita Williams and Barry Wilmore aboard, aiming to dock with the International Space Station.
So, after years of delay and costly setbacks, Boeing's Starliner starcraft is finally set to carry astronauts for the first time this week. The gumdrop-shaped capsule is scheduled to blast off Monday night from Florida, ferrying veteran astronauts Sunita Williams and Barry Wilmore to the International Space Station. It's a major test for the much-hyped project, which has been having some struggles with software glitches, faulty equipment, and good old-fashioned engineering headaches. For measure, Boeing has racked up a whopping $1.4 billion in losses on the Starliner so far, but the aerospace giant says that it's worked out the kinks, and both Boeing and NASA insist that the starcraft is ready for the prime time. Quote, "We've been very disciplined following the process," said Mark Nappy, a Boeing VP overseeing Starliner. "NASA is right there with us, and that makes me feel comfortable." End quote. Still, spaceflight is an unforgiving business, and if you ask Boeing about their recent airplane manufacturing snafus, yeah, I'd be pretty hesitant to get on the ship, not gonna lie. If all goes well, Starliner's successful crewed mission would finally give NASA that crucial backup to SpaceX for transporting astronauts to and from the space station. For years, the agencies relied solely on Elon Musk's company for those flights from US soils after retiring their own space shuttle. Both Boeing and NASA say they won't hesitate to delay the launch again if any safety risks were to crop up, but the two astronauts say they feel good about their ride. It's just really, really hard not to think about Boeing's commercial airplane business right now. Despite the rocky road for Starliner, hitting this milestone is crucial for Boeing to get a foothold in NASA's crew rotation missions to the space station. Liftoff is set for 10:34 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight, or on Monday, I guess depending on when you're watching this. After reaching orbit, Starliner will take about 24 hours to dock with the space station for a week-long stay before returning Williams and Wilmore to Earth under parachutes in the western US. Now, question is, can Boeing pull this off after so many missteps? Are they skimping on the rocket? Well, I guess we're about to find out.
A significant trend among Americans under 30 shows a shift in how financial information is consumed, largely through TikTok. The social media platform is not only a source of entertainment, but also a major influence on financial decisions and perceptions.
Alright, let's dive deep into this techno whirlpool where TikTok spins the economic compass of Gen Z. Sort of the paradox plaguing internet users right now. Their TikTok feeds are flooded with doomsday economic posts and lavish lifestyle flaunts. No surprise, it's twisting how they save, spend, and view their financial futures. Take 27-year-old Caitlin Sprinkle, whose For You page is a, quote, mix of economic gloom and consumerism gone wild. One video warns about debt's evils. The next is an influencer's designer handbag haul. A Nashville asset manager stated that you feel pressured into buying things to fit in, causing them to budget to afford Lululemon and home cooking. TikTok makes it more prominent. Which is unfortunate, because the understanding on how to budget and save is there, just for the wrong reasons. The roaring job market and rising wages suggest a strong economy, but cash-strapped young pros don't feel it, partly due to consumer debt, partly from TikTok's narrative. Housing unaffordability, inflation's crushing, and unavoidable credit card debt. Oh, and you simply must have that $2,500 Louis Vuitton bag. Over half of 18 to 34-year-olds are on TikTok, and a third of those under 29s get news there regularly, up from 10% in 2020. As it faces a potential US ban, TikTok remains massively influential on young adults' money mindsets. Interviews show the confusing, gloomy result. If the future's bleak, why not live for today? Enter money dysmorphia, a financial advisor's term for distorted views of one's money situation. Translation: it doesn't feel like the norm is your normal, said a 29-year-old Nashville mom whose feeds show trendy wants and unattainable lifestyles alongside budgeting reality. In 2 years, Gen Z effectively doubled non-mortgage debt to $11,000 more on average. And yet the median wealth quadrupled over $40,000 from 2019 to 2022, outpacing previous generations. More like needing to catch the fuck up, likely due to those previous generations not getting anything. Confusion reigns as growth slows. April job gains missed forecasts and unemployment ticked up, and over 90% of Gen Z made a social media inspired purchase. For 23-year-old mother of two, Brianna Rodriguez, it's TikTok baby clothes, eyelash extensions. She even went so far as to quit her traditional 9-to-5 job, having been inspired by the TikTok entrepreneurial hustle. A 28-year-old lawyer, Evan Nar, feels internal pressure to experience and share. He has student loans and spends on Broadway and travel. For some, doomerism bred thrift, like living with their parents but refusing to spend every last dollar just to keep up. But what about you? Are you living every day like it could be our last? Or do you take a more conservative route with your money? Make sure to let me know in the comments. And on that bit of someone's getting gaslit here, and I just don't know who it is anymore. I'm guessing that means me. News. I'm gonna call it. If you like what you saw here, make sure you hit that like button, help spread some news. And well, I'll see you next time.